All right, fam, I am literally just chilling in the living room. We're gonna do a very informal live over here on YouTube, so come join me. I just wanna catch up with you all, talk openly and honestly where I've been, what I've been up to, and what we're about to do together. We are gonna flourish together. So come on over. I will link that right here. Would love to have you. I'm gonna be live for a while, so come on over, ask me anything. All right, hello YouTube friends and fam. Jay unmuted me. Say hello in the chat if you are here. I know it's a Saturday afternoon, at least in New York, it's about 2:30. Let me know where you are in the world, how your weekend's going. I feel very out of practice with YouTube. Doing a live just feels a little more comfortable for me. So if I'm not looking at the camera, it's just because I'm going to be looking over at the chat box a bit too. What's up, Jobecca, Rebecca, Kathleen, what's going on? I see you doing work in that Forever Fit program for grounds. What's up, Rodeo Shelby? Fit and Lit podcast. I love that name. I'm jealous. Jason won't get mani-pedis with me. He needs one. He needs a pedi. I actually just went and got one yesterday, so I'm all zhuzhed up today. I feel like I can present myself to the world. Did a self-tan last night, did a full shower today, so I'm feeling like I can be part of society today. I know I've been a bit vacant here on YouTube, not consistent with uploads I would like to have. You don't think you need a pedicure? All right, to be debated. What's up, Brittany? 12:30 over there. That makes sense. It feels like it should be 12:30 here. I don't know how it's already 2:30 here. Jason and I had a busy morning already. I mean, we slept in a little bit, but then we went to the gym. We ran a couple errands, and then we took the dogs for walks this morning because as it is right now, it's raining. Our weather has been so up and down here. It's just very, I don't want to say it's bizarre because it's known to be April showers, but I definitely have been feeling some kind of way from the weather. It's definitely been impacting me. I feel like because we went to the Cayman Islands in March, beginning of March, and it was so beautiful, and then I went to Houston real quick. When I came back here, it was a bit of an adjustment because New York had been super nice all of February. We were having sunshine. Even if there was snow, there was still sun. So when I came back and it just got cold, like real cold, which kind of leads me to a bit of my fitness update because I know I haven't been vlogging on here. And part of that is just because I've been focusing on a few other things and I'm learning more about myself in this new chapter of my life, which I will likely be doing a full update because I'm approaching 1 year very soon, like literally next week. Next week or the week after is my anniversary of quitting my job. So I have lots of thoughts and feelings on that. So I'm gonna do a separate video talk about that. I don't know if I'll do a live or just a video update on kind of how my life's changed, the good, the bad, and where I'm going from here. But what's up, Carolyn? Thank you so much. But yeah, for updates, I kind of I did 2 videos on running, and I really wanted to start a running series on this channel, but it could be 2 things. Number 1, I dropped those 2 videos same day, same time, and they didn't really pick up that well, which isn't always indicative of not good content or content your audience doesn't want to see. It could also be the fact that I dropped those 2 videos and I kind of did nothing more with it. But I was training for a half marathon here in Syracuse, the end of March. So I went on my travels. I've consistently been running and strength training. I was following my Forever Fit program in grounds. Come here, Justice. Both the dogs are with me. Come here, buddy. You can't be in front of me, though. I'm the star of today's show. You're very cute, though. We love you very much. Okay. So came back from Caymans, came back from my 2 travels, right? And the weather turned, number 1. Number 2, I ended up getting sick. I don't even know what I had, but I was just so run down. I didn't feel good. Hopefully the audio is sounding okay. Just notice my mic is kind of facing downwards. So yeah, if you followed me on Instagram, I kind of did my updates over there, but haven't really talked more about it on YouTube. So I wanted to do more videos regarding my training, and then the half marathon was approaching. I got sick, and this was a struggle for me because I've never really, sounds good? Okay. I don't want to say I've never pulled out of doing something because I have before with bikini competitions, but there was one other race I chose to not do. But this one really irked me because I trained very well for this half marathon. I was very methodical with my training. I had a really good training plan set up. I had done my distances. I was kind of tapering down a bit with traveling. I was doing a very relaxed taper where I wasn't running much, but I knew I was ready to do this race. And then all of a sudden the weather's bad, which I wouldn't have let that hold me back. I want to say the day of the half marathon, it was like 10 degrees out that morning. Cause I remember Jason texted me and he was like, it's a good thing you didn't do the race. But I was very not well. I was just sick, run down. I think I had like a chest cold. I don't really know what I had. It wasn't COVID. You know, that's the only thing that exists anymore. But I decided to not do it, right? I decided to do what was best for my body, not do the race. And then, so this is the end of March. It's now a month later. Your girl still hasn't done a half marathon, and I haven't signed up for any races. I know, I see Jeanette. What's up, Jeanette? Just asked if I have any races this year. And yes, like that is my plan. That is still my mission, is to continue my weight training. In addition to kind of the start of this year, I wanted to be doing a half marathon or 2. Like I wanted to get a couple under my belt, and my plan is to do a full marathon, likely in fall, because where I live, there's a lot of fall marathons. It's just the best time of year to run a marathon. And for me, I would like to accomplish that either before my next birthday or around my next birthday. I like setting these birthday goals. But honestly, after pulling out of that half marathon, I don't want to say I've been lost, but I just haven't signed up for anything else or really found anything else. And I don't know how you all are, but something I've learned about me for a while, I've learned this through bikini prep, going in and out of many bikini preps, that I really, you know, when you think about SMART goal setting, right, it needs to have all those key factors to set you up for success. I have to have something actually scheduled. I have to have, Justice, I love you, buddy, but that's really distracting. Leave it and just chill. I have to have something on the calendar for me personally. I've been running since I pulled out of that half marathon. Leave it. I've been running, but to not have that carrot, to not have that end goal for me, it doesn't feel as purposeful. And that's something that's really important to me. Let me know if you relate to that or not. And I know not every goal has to be extreme, but I'm a goal-oriented person. I do my best, I thrive, I flourish when I know what I'm doing and what I'm doing it for. All right, so for me, I really need to lock down what my next race will be. The problem is where I live, there hasn't been any other half marathons. So, and there's not gonna be, there's just really not much around here. I don't know why. Jeanette's gonna do a 10K turkey trot. Those are awesome. There's a lot of different racing opportunities all over the place. So I'm thinking maybe I will travel somewhere to do it. I just kind of have to research a bit more, what will make the most sense for me in terms of time, in terms of spending money. I feel guilty spending money to go travel somewhere to run, but at the same time, I also feel like it's just something I need to do for me as a person. If that makes sense. Buddy, I gotta take that away from you. It's too much, this radial thing. I gotta take it away. I'm gonna be a jerk, but sorry, buddy. We gotta just chill right now. I know, it's a very sad day. Is anybody else like that? Just kind of like having a set goal. It doesn't have to be completing a race. It could be just completing a program, actually initiating a program. Justice, lay down. Lay down. Good boy. It could be just choosing an actual workout program and sticking to it for 6 weeks. So if you saw the thumb, I wanted to talk about my Flourish program that I have coming up on Monday. Pre-registration is happening in the Grounds app. If you're not already a user, this is a great time to sign up. They're doing 70% off the annual cost. So it works out to be $649 a month, which is super cheap. Honestly, I feel like most people waste $6.50 at some point throughout the month. Maybe not everyone. I don't know your financial situation, but if there is a time to try this app out, it is now with that discount. Ends up being $77 for the full year. You get full access to everyone's programs. The app includes a menstrual tracker. It's female only. It includes a journal section, a nutrition tracker with macros you can customize to your goals. And I can tell you updates are coming and continue to come. So any of my current Grounds users, you probably already know, oftentimes you go to sign in and Grounds has an update, and that's because they're working so hard behind the scenes to make updates. I think I put on Instagram stories the other day, someone wants that fiber update to the nutrition tracker, which I am included in that as well. Like, I'm a huge advocate for wanting some more updates to the nutrition component section. So don't worry, I'm advocating for you all, but those things are coming. So it takes time with a brand new company, but they've already made so many great changes and additions in there that I just think this app is super helpful for anyone. I know for me, it's been so helpful this past year of my life where it's been really unknown for me. I quit my job not necessarily like knowing what this year was going to entail, and to have something like Grounds and to have programs in there following my own or someone else's, or even just utilizing the on-demand workouts, really made it effortless for me to maintain my fitness even when I really wasn't focusing a ton on it, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes do you ever feel like you have to put so much effort into your nutrition and your workouts and just be so focused to see results? And that's often true, but for me, I feel like I'm in this part of my life where it's kind of just built in effortlessly. Not saying I don't work hard, like, understand I do work hard, but there's definitely times where other things in my life are taking priority, taking more of my attention, and utilizing Grounds has just helped me still maintain my fitness in such an easy way. So, Flourish, we were asked, just to give you a little background on it, Heidi's got her bridal boot camp that launched. And so for bridal boot camp and her campaign, if you watched it, it was really about kind of like finding love in the gym. And so with that in mind, she wanted us to all think about programs that kind of circled back to love. And for a minute, I was like, how am I going to do that? I've been in love with Jason since I was 15 years old. Like, I'm an old love. Like, I'm all married up. Like, I don't know how to like get there in my feelings, but I did very quickly. And so I came up with Flourish, and the idea of Flourish, which if you look up the definition, there's so many different meanings to it. But one of the meanings can be just really succeeding and excelling at what you're doing, especially in a particular environment. So when you think about plants or gardening, when you think about your flowers flourishing, it depends on how much you water it, how much time and attention you give to it, how much sunlight it gets, how much watering it gets, how much trimming it gets, all this care and love that gets put into something in a particular environment. And to me, that hit home because I think about it with my relationship with Jason. our relationship, although we've been together since 99, literally 1999, our relationship has really flourished this past year because with my change of environment, I've been able to give more time and attention to the family dynamic, to being a good wife, to being a good dog mom, and to just having more of family in my life, which was so important to me in my happiness. I would rather hustle hard every single day and be so much more involved in my family versus feeling like I get this much time with them. That used to make me feel so depressed. I didn't understand what I was doing because I'm like, I'm working so hard in this job I'm not happy in for my family, but then I never get to be with my family. So this past year I was really able to flourish, and I think Jason and I's love connected on a deeper level for that reason. And so that totally pertains to fitness, because when you think about fitness, think about different times in your life. All right, I want you to sit there and think about what was one time you were so successful with your fitness program. Whether it was your workouts, your nutrition, whatever it may be, what factors were in your life at that period of time that made you successful, that allowed you to flourish? Thank you, Justina. Justina's here too, Jason. She's always here. Love Justina. Tara needs goals as well. So if you think about those points in your life when you were very successful, like what was the environment like for you? Was it the social support? Was it you worked out at a particular gym with a particular trainer? Was it that end goal that you set for yourself? What was it that really allowed you to flourish? I think it's really important to think about those things because fitness, nutrition, it's not one size fits all. As much as everyone wants to believe it, it would be much easier if it was. Let me just do what she's doing because it's working for her. It's not like that. So you really have to think about what helps you flourish. For me, one of the things I learned with wanting to continue to incorporate my running and not feel guilty about it and still prioritize my lifting, I needed to have a workout program that allowed me to balance both of those things. And it's a hard task. It's a hard task to prioritize lifting and still prioritize running, especially training for a race. Something I don't make up. I know I don't have a large following, but I do get asked all the time, how do you balance those? And it took me a long time to balance those. I used to only run long distance, only run marathons, do very little lifting. All right, let me just give you a little background. Hopefully you're enjoying the chat. If you are, friends, make sure you do like this video at some point in time. It does help out the channel. Also, I'm gonna take a little drink of this combo, which is, speaking of my body ghost joint, I'm on week 2, technically, day 8. I'm tracking how my body's feeling in response to taking joint. This is joint and hydration. That's a good point, Brittany. It was the people you were surrounded with. And that makes a lot of sense for me too. When you're surrounded by certain people, whether it's in the workout environment, whether it's like group fitness classes or people you're living with, the living dynamic, it can have such a great influence on your workouts. Those are all factors to consider with how you're gonna best flourish. And maybe you cannot always recreate how that environment best looks, but having an awareness for what internally motivates you is helpful. Externally motivates you. You need to know both of those factors, understanding we don't always have motivation, but trying to set yourself up for the best success possible, right? So for me, with creating the Flourish program and wanting to make sure I could still balance my running, not feel guilty. I'll be honest, Forever Fit is really hard for me to still balance my running. I was able to do it because I trained for my whole half marathon doing Forever Fit, but what I would do is I would oftentimes decrease my lifts to 4 days a week, or I would remove one of the lower body days because we were doing lower body 3 times a week in Forever Fit. What's up, Kelsey? Thanks for joining us. Jeanette got joint and size as well. Awesome. You're gonna like them. You know, for me, I would often have to alter the workout program, which is fine. That is another beautiful thing about grounds, is you can alter it. If I didn't complete Forever Fit in 6 weeks, no one was telling me I failed. It was just how I was going about approaching it. But I did find I am the type of person that I like to do everything perfect. I like to check all my boxes to feel like I'm doing everything correctly. And so with traveling, with running, with having to like alter my workouts, I'm like, I just need a program that works better with my running, that allows me a little bit more flexibility with the days a week I can run, number one. Number two, I need something that doesn't overly tax the body too much where I'm not able to recover. And I also wanted the flexibility of a dumbbell-only program because I have dumbbells at home. Most people do that work out from home. So this allows me the ability to feel like I can work out at home if I need to, or if I want to go to the gym, or if I'm traveling at a hotel, I can find dumbbells anywhere. So the Flourish program really sets me and you up for success for the long term. This program, by the way, will be in grounds for life. It's not going to disappear like the New Year's challenge did, but this is a program that I think is going to be really helpful for so many of you. Again, I don't want you to compare yourself to me though. If you start Flourish and you're like, man, I'm really sore from this and I'm not recovering well, and I thought Kara said I could get in all this cardio, everyone's different. So it is listed as a medium in terms of toughness, but if you need to swap out movements or keep the movements in, but maybe lower your weight or lower the reps. There's all types of different ways to make modifications. So reach out to me at any point in time if you are doing Flourish, whether it's on the Grounds app community chat or you're in my Discord. You know how to get a hold of me. I'm all over the place on the internet. So that's what I want to do for you all. Like, I want to help you, even though I'm not personally training you, right? You're doing this program at your own pace and how you need, but utilize me for my knowledge so that I can help you be as successful as possible with the program. That is what I'm here to do. So this program, like I said, it's a 4-day-a-week split. It's 2 lower body days and 2 upper body days, one being more chest, shoulder, tricep focus, the other day being back and biceps. I believe I mixed in a little core there too, just so it's like, we're not forgetting our core. Now, I normally like to do core before I lift, but this 4-day-a-week split for me works out perfectly because what I tend to do is still prioritize my lifts first thing in the morning. And I usually run later in the day, not all the time though. So depending on how many runs I'm doing a week, usually I aim for 3. That is my goal. Sometimes I may do 4. It depends on how my body feels. That's why I've learned to be very kind of flexible with myself. Allow yourself to be flexible. If you have not been able to do that in fitness, it is one of the things you do need to learn. To be flexible with yourself will just allow you to be more realistic with your goals and feeling like you're achieving your goals and not letting yourself down, which then just propels you to keep moving forward and to keep working harder, all right? You don't need to beat yourself up if you didn't achieve everything during the week. Be flexible with yourself. Be honest with yourself. If you do feel like, I could have done a bit more, but I was, not prioritizing it, you understand. But for me, this split allows me, or you don't have to be a runner to do Flourish, by the way. I wanted the program to set you up to add in more cardio if you want. Now, some of you have said, is cardio built into Flourish? It's not part of Flourish. There are some cardio on-demand classes you can do within the app. There is like a HIIT treadmill class. Hit me baby one more time. I forget what we called it. There is a HIIT, a couple HIIT workouts you can do on the tread. I personally just enjoy doing cardio on my own. This is just me. I like to be in my own head, my own space. It's a bit meditative for me when I run, but this program can allow you to work in runs, cross training, walking your dogs, doing a yoga class, whatever it may be. It just allows you a bit more time to do that. So for running, I usually like to plan my runs. If I do have any runners in the chat or watching this video back, I like to do my runs either in the evening on a day that I've lifted upper body, or I plan them on my off days from lifting. So 4 days a week lifting, you have 3 days off. That doesn't mean do nothing. You could do your cardio those days. You could do active rest days. So it really is quite flexible, and I think this is why this program is just going to be perfect for so many of you. Also, I want to mention, I'll be starting this program on Monday. This is when the program starts. I'm going to be doing the full thing with you. So like this past couple weeks, I feel like I've been kind of floating around a bit. I've more so been training with Jason and just kind of following his lead a bit. So I know that starting on Monday is going to be really good for me to not be floating around anymore in little Kara world like I do sometimes. I need that structure. So I'm kind of like just eager beaver waiting for Monday to start to get on this program with you and figure out what half marathon I can realistically do without spending too much money. It burns me I lost that money paying for that freaking half marathon that I had to pull out of. I mean, I got a t-shirt for it, like an ugly ass t-shirt, but you know, there's no race insurance. Hey buddy. Also, I did want to mention too, dumbbell only, there's so many benefits to working dumbbells. I do love machines, don't get me wrong. So if you're like me and you love doing all the different fun machines at the gym, it doesn't mean you can't do that anymore. The way we programmed Flourish, it's for the most part, you're gonna be done your workout in under an hour. I don't even like saying that because I don't want anyone to feel bad if it takes you an hour or takes you longer. This is not me judging you. This is just a general guideline for how long these workouts could take. But for the most part, you should be completing them in 40 to 60 minutes. So for me, I am still gonna do some of these workouts at the gym, and I may just still sub in some specific machine work based on how I'm feeling, kind of have fun with it and add in anything you feel like you're missing or you feel like you want to do that day. No pressure to, I'm just saying you can. But the beauty about working with dumbbells, you're not missing out on anything not doing machines. Dumbbells allow you the most range of motion for your body, whereas doing machines, you limit the range of motion that your body can do for workouts. Dumbbells are honestly one of the best things that you can do. It gives you all the range of motion. Also, machines are kind of set up for certain body types, and I know for me, I noticed that a lot being a short person. Not every machine really works well with my body type and size, and I'm sure many of you can relate to that too. So dumbbells are really way more personalized to you and allow you that range of motion. Doing dumbbell work as well, especially standing, and it's going to engage your core a ton more too, which core strength, the older I get, the more I am just focusing in on it because and I think that's why I'm always getting ab compliments, although your core is not just your abs. Your core is that whole midsection, right? It's that like medial line of your body, your back. There is so much that encompasses your core. And so I've noticed lower back pain, sitting too much, not opening up my hips enough. There's so many, that's a good stretch, Justice, good boy. So anyways, I just think dumbbell work is fantastic, and I want you to know that it is enough. You don't have to be doing 10 different machines in the gym and doing all these weird movements. Keep it simple, stupid is like the best advice I can give you. There's tons of different ways that you can train shoulders, glutes, you name it, but ultimately it's still going to come down to a lot of the same motions and how we do things. So Flourish is set up in a way to keep you successful, gaining strength and or maintaining your strength depending on what your goals are with how you want to progress with that, but also allowing you that flexibility to do cardio, because here's my plug for cardio. We all need to be doing it. I know it's trendy right now. Like it's, for me, I'm like, yay, running's trendy, because it never used to be. I feel like I used to just not talk about running because it wasn't trendy. When I was in the peak of bodybuilding, like 2015 to 2017, yeah, you didn't see anyone out there on the road running doing their reels, talking about their 20-mile run. Now it's all I see everywhere. Everyone's a runner. Everyone's doing a marathon, it feels like. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm glad we are giving cardio its moment, because we never should have been shunning people from doing cardio. I don't care who you are. It is advantageous if you are a youth, if you are an elderly, if you have arthritis. It don't matter. We all need to be doing cardio. Cardio and maintaining muscle and working our muscles allows us to age healthy as possible. So you really do need to have both of those things in place. So anyways, I just want to check the chat real quick because I have been chatting enough. In case you guys want to ask me some questions, feel free to. I just wanted to give like a little catch up as to where I've been. Like I said, I haven't really been vlogging because I feel like I haven't been lost. I know it can look like I've been lost. I haven't been lost. I know exactly where I am, but I just didn't feel like I could put energy to vlogging anything that really added value to your life. So I'm like, I don't like to do videos just to do videos. I want to add value, but I also do want to connect with you guys too, especially in this community on YouTube is always very special to me. It is my favorite, and I do miss it when I'm not connecting. And I don't want to say just doing Buff Bunny collection reviews because those are my favorite and I am so privileged to do those, but I always like having my videos that are just raw and real and giving advice and talking about my life too. So if you guys do like to see them, regardless, let a hoe know as well. I do have some running stuff planned. I think I might do more of that on my Instagram just because I don't know. I'm going to feel it out. I'm going to feel it out how it goes on here. I also had a bunch of you asking about Driven, if Driven would be coming back. Let me know your thoughts on that. I would love to do a Driven series for the summertime. It'd be really cool if I could do that in combo with grounds, you know? Okay, let's look at questions real quick. Your balls are hanging out, bro. Yeah, cover those up. Bruce is with us too. He's just, let's see, do I dare move the camera? There's Bruce. He's snuggled. He's snug as a bug. Okay, we're good. Okay, so Jordan, I work full-time 9 to 5 as well as run my own dog training business with my boyfriend. I can only fit in workouts in the early AM, but I've been finding it so hard to get up early lately. I haven't been consistent in months because of that and gotten so frustrated with myself. Yeah, and what Brittany said is correct. Early mornings are usually the best time to get a workout in because you can get it done before anything comes up, right? And that's just kind of the general advice I always give people, but I'm also that person that does understand how difficult it is. I have the benefit of Jason, who is so disciplined, and he loves his first thing in the morning workouts. Like, that's just him. I've been a bit more lenient with myself this past year since I don't have to work the 9 to 5 per se anymore, but that is what I did for my 9 to 5. Because I knew as much as, oh, I'll go work out after work. It never happened for me. I hated working out after work. I loathed it. The only time I did it is when I was in bodybuilding training, competition mode. And even then, knowing I was going to be on a stage, practically naked, competing, wanting to win, it was still tough for me. You would think as a bikini competitor, you'd be the most laser focused, nothing's getting in the way. But let me tell you, the way that a 9 to 5, regardless of what your job is, and you also have an additional business, it sucks you dry a bit, right? Like, you have all these other demands. The only time you're not going to have any other demands or excuses is first thing in the morning. There's no way around it. And what helped me, quite honestly, is knowing that if I got up an hour early versus sleeping that extra hour, guess what? I was still going to be tired, okay? I've never woken out of bed like, oh, I'm just so refreshed, ready to start my day. Never. I never have, never will. Don't know about y'all. But for me, that gave me some peace of mind. Like, okay, yeah, you're tired, Kara, but guess what? You're going to sleep an extra hour. You're still going to be tired. And then you're going to be annoyed that you didn't get up and do something for yourself today. So the more I just got in the habit of doing it and getting up, getting moving, I always felt that benefit. And then I also noticed too, getting that workout in first thing in the morning helped me manage my stress the rest of the day. It helped me manage my my attitude, especially as a manager dealing with multiple personalities. It helped me deal with my eating choices and not allowing emotions to take over. It honestly felt like working out first thing in the morning just helps me feel more me. And that may not be for everyone, but I do think it's a good recommendation for a lot of people because life is so busy. And it is hard, especially like I'm just catching everything, all the tips you're getting here as well, Jordan. That's great. Thank you guys for giving some tips here. Yeah, I love Kelsey's idea, even just starting slow with like 15 to 30 minutes, things like that. And it is hard when you don't feel like you're getting rest. I know that's huge for me. If you're not feeling rested, it's hard to really feel like you can get up and work out. But how do you end that cycle? Sometimes for me, if I'm not feeling rested, it's because I'm not sleeping well at night. I'm going to bed too late. Maybe I'm eating too late. That's a huge one for me that I'm still fine tuning. That's one thing that's majorly changed in my life, when I'm eating and how, like, at times that I'm eating at. So I eat later in the day now, and if I'm eating too close to bed and your body's working on digesting, it's not going to be able to help you focus on sleeping and winding down into that mode hormonally that you need to be in to get good, well-rested sleep. So, you know, there's a lot of things you can assess with sleep patterns too that maybe can be dialed in a bit to help with everything, because it can be a very vicious cycle for sure. Oh, my Flourish program, unfortunately, the Grounds app is female only. It was really important to Heidi to just have a safe space for women. I know I do still have a decent sized male audience, and I love that. Unfortunately, the app is just female only because, well, let's be honest here. I'm sure you can admit there's some dudes who are creepers. So she really wanted the app to just make women feel comfortable to share anything they're feeling, you know? Let's see. Oh, Kathleen's an afternoon or evening workout person. You know what, Kathleen, for me, I love the flexibility I have in my life now, so I feel very privileged to say this, but I like that I can now split things up. Previously, I would usually have to do cardio and strength training before work because I knew after work, the likelihood is it wasn't going to get done because I already felt like so much time was being taken away from my husband and my dogs. I didn't want to come home and then leave again or be in the basement doing cardio when I had just such limited time with them. So now it's really nice for me to break it up. I feel like I can focus on my lift in the morning. I still like lifting in the morning compared to the afternoon. I feel like I'm just more focused, and that can be different for everyone. I say go with when you're most focused. But cardio, I like being able to be more flexible with, whether it's going in the early afternoon. I go in the evenings a lot, like 4 to 5 p.m. now that it's lighter later. Like, I love that I have that flexibility. So I'm kind of like a morning strength training girl and then evening cardio girl, but I can go either way. If I'm not lifting, I love just kind of like getting some pancakes and coffee in me, letting things digest, and then going for a run in the morning. Not too early, but like in the morning and getting it done. Jordan, it does sound like for you, trying to squeeze in those early mornings would be best for you. Like, it sounds like that, making that more of a goal for yourself, however that could look, with everything you have on your plate with your job, may be easiest to stick with. Honestly, when I was doing bikini training, I never thought I would do this, but I was literally doing 4 a.m. workouts. So what that entailed for me was getting up at 2:30 in the morning, 2:30 or 2:45, because I would give myself about 15 minutes I would pack my bag the night before because I'd have to go from the gym to work. Pack my bag the night before, have my workout outfit ready, have my supplements ready, literally get up in enough time to just brush my teeth, throw my outfit on, and get to the gym and for those 4 a.m. workouts, you couldn't walk in at 4 a.m. You'd get scolded. You had to be there 15 minutes before warming up the body because they were intense, full body circuits depending on the week. So I was doing that for a period of time to be ready for my bikini preps. And it was wild to me that I was getting up so early. I never thought I could do it. Like, literally be, not even the getting up that early. We do that for the airport a lot, like where we have to get up at like ridiculous times, but to actually be like working out and working hard, right? And I did it, and I actually really loved it. And the good thing about it too is that by the time I did that, worked all day, came home, ate all my meals, I was so ready to go to bed. I think I slept the best I had ever slept during like a training period during that time from getting up early. Now, I'm not suggesting everyone gets up that early. Like, I understand we all have our limits. Like someone mentioned, was it Sarah that said you're a teacher? Yes, and you're not getting up any earlier. And trust me, I get it. Like, I'm older now than I was when I was doing that, and there's like certain things I'm not willing to do, but I have to say, like, it was beneficial to me. I had great workouts, and I also had great sleep. So there's always a way to adapt if you're willing to, and I think only you can decide what you're willing to do, what stage of change you're at. Are you really willing to make changes or not? You know, that's something I talk about a lot when I work with clients. It's like, it's great. You want to lose 10 pounds or you want to have abs, but what are you actually willing to do to get those things? And you may not be willing to do the things that's required, and that's okay. I think it's better that you realize what you're willing to do and then set a realistic goal based on what you're willing to change, because behaviors have to change. You can wish and wish and wish you had the abs or you lost 10 pounds all you want, but what will it take for you to get there? Are you willing to do the things that it takes? Sometimes it's not worth it, right? That's okay too. I think it depends on your dynamic and what other health indicators are there, you know. Also worked with many people where it's like they're on heart attack number 2 and they're still not willing to change their diet. Do I think that's okay? No, I don't. But at the same time, realistically, I can't change what someone else puts in their mouth. I can't change when they get up. I can't change if they're gonna work out. I can't change that for anyone. As a dietitian, I would love to do the work for so many people because I feel, I don't know, I guess I feel like it's what I was called to do in this world because I was just born, I feel like I was born into fitness, like loving it, being very passionate about it. So it's always been enjoyable for me, and I'm not saying there aren't days where I'm just so unmotivated and I don't want to work out or I'm just going through the motions. I go through all that too. I am human. But for the most part, I enjoy working. I enjoy working out. It's never been a challenge for me to get myself to the gym or to even set fitness goals for myself. I'm not saying that in a braggy way. I'm just saying it in an educational way. We're all different, right? Like, I've had some people reach out to me recently and say, how do you run that far? I really wish I could get myself to run that far, but I just can't go further than a few minutes. And I'm like, maybe you're just not into running. Like, don't ever feel pressured to have to do one particular thing with fitness either. You don't have to be a runner. Some people hate running and are never going to enjoy it. Some people will learn to love it if you kind of train yourself to enjoy certain aspects of it, right? So you also have to understand what you enjoy and kind of look at things that way too when it comes to fitness and what your goals are and what you're willing to do. Brittany has a Buff Bunny question for me. Brittany, I don't know if you saw, I posted in Discord. The mail carriers are actively fucking with me. So my package was supposed to come FedEx. It got split into 2 packages, and my second package with both my seamless leggings in it and my short bone, did I get the bone color? Yeah, the dress, the bend and snap dress, has not come yet. It says it's still in FedEx's hands, not moved out of Fort Worth, Texas. So I filed a thing with them, and they're gonna look into it and see if it's lost or what, which at that time, I don't know. I have no idea if those leggings, I think it's all sold out now. I have no idea. So that's a long answer, but no, I have not been able to try my extra small shape seamless yet, and that bothers me because I feel like I will enjoy those, but I cannot tell you which size I enjoy more yet. So I'm hoping I can get them. Emma says I'm weird and that workouts make me tired, so I usually have to work out right after work or I'll be off all day. Emma, that's actually not weird. That's actually very common. The gases that you produce, and I don't mean like, you know, the CO2 that you produce with working out can sometimes make you tired. It's very common to feel very sleepy after a workout. So that's you knowing your body and knowing what works best for you. So for you, you need to prioritize your mind for your job. And then if you've got that dedication to get to the gym right after work, that's great. I used to be like that when I was in college. I would never work out early in the morning. I would always, and I basically in college was like an 8 to 5. I had classes all day long. So I was kind of in that 9 to 5 situation where I was going to the gym with all the after work people. And at that place in my life, I loved it. I thrived in a gym full of people that I kind of like fed off their energy. I liked being around that many people at that point in my life. Just like getting that kind of like extrinsic like motivation from others, just like seeing all the other people around me. At this stage in my life, I'm not like that. I'm like, don't look at me when I'm working out. I like working out alone for the most part, like in my own little zone. I don't look to others for motivation when I train. So it's different for everyone, and it's also different at different stages of life too, right? Like depending on your job, or maybe depending on your family dynamic and all that stuff. It definitely changes. That's why working out is never just like a linear path, regardless of who you are, you know? It's always kind of up and down. So it's good to be flexible with it. And definitely too, I see some talk in the chat about like getting blood work done and stuff like that. If you are having issues with fatigue or tired and you really can't figure out why, definitely not a bad thing to go in for some blood work, get things checked out, make sure they're checking things thoroughly, maybe get a thorough thyroid panel done, not just TSH and T4. There's a lot of things there to look at, and I think that's a good point. Just in terms of being healthy and fit, I don't think we talk enough about all that other stuff that goes into being healthy, all the doctor's appointments, all the routine work, right? And it's not always easy doing that part of things because sometimes the healthcare system, regardless of where you live, can make it very difficult, but it is something you have to advocate for and stay on top of as well. Oh no, Sarah. I mean, yeah, running can be good for you, but it's not superior to other methods of cardiovascular fitness, right? So if you don't love running, don't feel like you have to do running. You could walk, and despite what certain people are saying about walking right now, walking can be cardiovascular activity. It can be part of your exercise routine. You can do interval walks where you're walking on a hill, where you're walking at a faster incline. You could also, spinning I love too. I'm not good at it, which is probably why I don't love it, but spinning or any type of like bicycle riding. I was a fitness girly from like cardio classes. I loved Zumba. Oh, what was the other one called that I used to do all the time? There's like another group fitness class. I can't remember the name, but it was just like a lot of like punching and like jumping and cardio stuff. And it was just really fun. And for me, that's how I always found my way with different fitness classes. Like fitness always has to be fun for me. And when I'm not having fun is when I change something. I change something in the environment so I can keep flourishing, you know? So I either change my gym or I change what types of workouts I'm doing. Maybe I incorporate some plyometrics. Those are challenging, right? But that's another method to get in great cardiovascular shape, increase your heart rate, utilize the cardiac muscles. I did love Tae Bo, Billy Blanks, but it wasn't Tae Bo. It was another one that was kind of like Tae Bo-ish. Gosh, it's gonna kill me. And I literally wanted to become a group fitness instructor, but I don't know. I used to do it at my local YMCA. Geez, what was it called? That's gonna bug me. It wasn't jazzercise. I'm not that old. I mean, do people still do jazzercise? That's like a thing, right? I mean, Tae Bo was fun though. I used to do Tae Bo all the time. There used to be something called Fit TV. I don't think they have it anymore, but I used to do like all their little workouts just right in my apartment with a couple of dumbbells. I mean, I think that's the beauty of the Grounds app, is it really makes it, the intent of Grounds app is to be that one-stop shop for you, but also to just give you all the tools and resources you need. And like I said, we'll hopefully keep building on that. If you know people that you feel like are struggling, please recommend the Grounds app to them as well. That's the other thing. Like my social media like impact can only go so far in the world, and I always forget when I'm just like out in everyday life, and fitness comes up quite a bit, you know, between Jason and I and people seeing us and chatting with us. You know, I think this is an app that can really help a lot of people. So don't forget, if you are part of the Grounds app, to share with them what you're doing. And you never know who you're going to help with sharing your own fitness journey and how you're going about it. So, and you can tell them to train with me and do Flourish. Oh God, I get it, Sarah. I get the cardio. The cardio used to be stupid for bikini competitions. Like, I think that's a big reason why, for the longest time, I said never say never to doing bikini competitions again. But here's the thing about bikini competitions in 2024. All right, number one, I mean, I ended up going the route as a natural pro because, you know, Mark Lobliner essentially was like, Kara, what are you doing? Like, why are you trying to win in NPC? You're not in a level playing field. If you're not willing to take steroids, go with the natural organization. So that's what I did, and I think I did very well. And I don't know if I could still go that route or not. I'm natural, but I'm on spironolactone for acne. And I think they look at that as a banned substance because it's listed as a diuretic, which I do pee a lot, but it definitely doesn't give me any type of like physical advantage whatsoever. If anything, I just have to be super careful with my potassium because it's potassium sparing, so I can get a little lightheaded if my potassium's low and my electrolytes are out of sorts, but definitely doesn't give me any physical advantage. But here's the thing about 2024, which I don't know how natural organizations handle this, but You know, we're living in the world of weight loss medication now, and that's a whole separate topic. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-weight loss medication. I'm not anti-Moderna, what is it? Yeah, Ozempic, Wegovy, all the different types of medications, GLP-1s you can take for weight loss. I think there's a lot of that in bodybuilding, if I'm being honest. They decrease your appetite. You don't have to eat as much. People don't want to eat as much. And I don't know, I feel like I'm not willing to do that stuff to compete. Like, there's a lot I'm not willing to do to compete, which I think is good that I know that, but I also, if I was going to compete, I'd want to compete to win. So it's this conflict between like, well, are you willing to do what it takes or not? So I don't know if I would ever really grace the stage of the bodybuilding stage again, because even in natural, I'm like, what are people doing now to win? What are they doing, you know? Yeah, fertility issues are a huge thing based on what some young women would do to, obviously, like, even when I say do what it takes, you have to go very low calories. So even if you're doing everything as quote unquote healthy, that's a whole debate, is competing healthy, but you have to go so low calorie. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much muscle you have. I don't care how old you are. I mean, you look at the dudes, like even like a C-Bum or Christian Guzman, right? Like, their calories have to go so low for them in like relation to your body type. Your calories are going to go low. You essentially are starving your body to get that lean. That is what it takes to look like that. You can't sugarcoat it. That's the reality of it. You have to essentially be in starvation mode almost for a period of time, maybe not your whole training, but you have to get comfortable with feeling really fucking hungry, having no energy, maybe having no sex drive. As a woman, maybe losing your period, which then impacts your hormones, maybe acutely, but also maybe chronically. Who knows? Who knows the long-term component there? There's so much that goes into it, and as a 40-year-old woman, I'm like, do I need to do all that now? I'm not gonna lie, I love it when people see me nowadays and they're like, gosh, you look so good, like you could just be on the bodybuilding stage. And I'm like, thank you for that. But no, I'm not that lean, but I love that I'm representing a healthy weight, not a healthy weight, but a healthy physical appearance that I find is not compromising my long-term health, right? Like, to me, I'm like, this is more influential. Me right now, do I have a higher body fat than what could compete on a stage? I do, but I'm proud of that. And I think this should be more influential to be a 40-year-old woman and to have a good physique and to have healthy habits and to age healthily should be more influential than someone who competes on a stage. Again, no judgment, because I love competing. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a really impactful time in my life. I just don't know that I would ever do it again, you know? So anyways, my focus right now is kind of like I don't know that I even just want to maintain where I'm at. Like, I always have physical goals. I'm in a place where I'm not necessarily like looking to PR in the gym. Can you PR with Flourish? You totally can, but for me, that's just not where I'm at on my fitness journey. I'm not about like having to lift the most weight. That just doesn't work for my body. And I fought against that for years and years, and it just created, honestly, issues with my body, like trying to always squat always going into leg day and trying to squat as heavy as possible. I'm not saying don't ever go in with that mindset to lift as heavy as you need to, but going into squat and always lifting as heavy as possible created so many challenges with my lower back, and pushing through that created more issues. There's certain things that sometimes, like, you have to also just have more body awareness of what's going to create benefit, or maybe it's not worth it, you know, risk versus benefit. So that's not my personal journey right now, and probably won't be. I don't think I'll ever be the girl going into the gym worrying about how much I'm PRing. I still try to not be like a little pussy, and I try to like lift as much weight as I can to really feel like I'm getting in a good workout. But I also have this appreciation for my body and knowing when I need to pull back and knowing that that's okay. There's different ways that you can still make progress and progressively overload without having to actually just keep lifting heavier and heavier. Focusing on the actual quality of your reps is something I come back to quite a bit, and I want you all to do that in the Grounds app as well. Really focus on the quality of what you're doing versus just worrying about how heavy you're going or how fast you're doing it, or even how quickly you're losing weight on the scale. Like, just kind of go back to basics and focus on the quality of what you're doing first and foremost. And then two, if you want to then either increase the weight, amazing, do it. Or two, increase your intensity. Maybe you just keep the intensity up a bit more in terms of your effort and how hard you're lifting. Maybe there's different ways you can go about it. So it's very different for everyone. All right, so what was I saying? Because I just keep going. I keep rambling. This is what a live is, right? I ramble, so I guess I don't need to apologize for it. But so my current plan right now, today is Saturday the 27th that I'm doing this live, and I say that because I know some of you may be joining me after the live, which is great. I would like to try to remember to do timestamps. If someone's really bored, you want to give us some time codes. Watch us back and give us time codes. I need one of those followers. I watch so many people's YouTubes where there's always like one consistent person that captures all the time codes. But I'm gonna be starting Flourish on Monday. That's a 6-week program. When does that take us through? The beginning of June? I kind of want the calendar date in front of me. So the 29th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that takes us to June 10th to do a 6-week program. So during this time, my goal is I would like to have a half marathon completed before Flourish is done. Like I said, there's nothing really locally around me. I'm gonna keep looking, but I may have to travel somewhere. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. But that is my goal, is to get my first half marathon completed by the beginning of June, ideally before Flourish is done, because I want to show you that you can do both alongside with this program. So it's kind of important for me, number one, to demonstrate that for you all, but also for my own self. I feel like I've got this little bit of me that's competitive and annoyed that I had to quit my last half marathon. And so I'm just freaking eager beaver to get the first one done. And then I want to do a second one because I know I'm going to want to improve my time and then go from there. That's my current plan. With that, with Flourish, I do want to focus on physique updates for myself a little bit, because I feel like, I know it can be a conflicting message with like, let's get our summer bodies ready. Like, you shouldn't have to like prepare your body for a season, right? But also, it's okay if you want to. I don't think anyone should be shamed for that. Like, there's different seasons of life, and some people just like to prioritize that coming into the nicer months. And so for me, that is one thing I'd like to do, is have like a little more awareness of my physique, and physique updates help me. So not necessarily even weigh-ins on the scale. I see greater benefit from taking progress pictures. What are your thoughts on that, you guys, for those who are still with me in this live? Because it's funny, when I work with clients, they're either really scared of weigh-ins or they really don't want to do the progress check-ins, like the photos. And I get both, because photos can be very tough to do if you don't look at yourself much. Does that sound weird? A lot of us don't look at ourselves in a bikini every day, or kind of critique your body, which that's okay too. You shouldn't be like tearing yourself down or anything, or body checking every 5 minutes. But it's also good to kind of take a look at your progress. How are things looking? Are you liking how things are looking? Do you want to make any changes? And so for me, I like the visual of looking at photos versus the scale, because the scale for me doesn't, or anyone, always tell a full picture of what's happening, right? Pictures to me do so much more. Yes, I don't like weigh-ins, but photos are less scary in my opinion. Yeah, it depends. I don't know. I've had it both ways depending on clients I work with. Like I usually only have clients do photos once a week. And I've had some that they're like, look, can we just not? And I'm like, yeah, if it's negatively going to impact your mental state, that's not the intent of it. The intent is to give you a different visual. So what I like, it can be hard to see changes week after week. I mean, I think I've proven in the Driven series, though, you really can see changes week to week despite what you see on the scale, which is why I like to go back to photos. But I'm just really bad about it. I just don't think to do it ever unless I'm doing a series for YouTube. But I want to do it for myself. I'm hoping Grounds gets that as an update where we can like share, well, not share, but have our own private progress photos. I know that's something we have discussed with Grounds. Yeah, progress pictures, especially when I'm inconsistent. I'm like, oh yeah, I look the same because I haven't progressed much, right? Like, whereas the scale sometimes can tell you, like, the scale is so easily impacted by your hydration, your sleep, your hormones, how much you ate, have you pooped, what time of the month it is. There are so many things that influence that weigh-in. That I feel like, honestly, if you're not going to weigh in every day, don't bother. Which I know it's funny, in college, that kind of goes against what I was taught in college. We were taught to, you know, that could be looked at as obsessive or too much. You should only have people weigh in once a month. Once a month doesn't tell me shit. If I am your coach trying to help you, daily weigh-ins give me so much more data. I can then see your trends. I can get the weekly average. I can see over a month, have you kind of trended down? If you only give me one monthly weigh-in, I can't really do much with that. It doesn't really tell me shit. It's like a snapshot in time. It's like taking your blood pressure at the doctor's office. That's not giving me much information. It's a really acute snapshot in time that doesn't really help me help you. Okay, so help me help you. I would say daily weigh-ins, if you can get over it, if you can get over your shit if it bothers you, daily weigh-ins are so much more advantageous because you can really look at over the week, how are you averaging? If you only take one weigh-in a week, you could have had a low weigh-in that week and you missed out on it. You didn't see it. So if you can kind of get out of your own way and get daily weigh-ins and do it that way and see those averages, see how things trend up, down, maybe start to pay attention to what impacts those trends. Did your weight go up because you barely slept? Did your weight go up because you ate super late at night? Did your weight go down because you didn't drink enough fluid yesterday? Did your weight go up because you had a heavy leg day? There's so many things that influence those weigh-ins. So for me, I love the data. I love seeing how the human body responds. But I've done that over time. I'm really pretty in tune with my body at this point, that the progress pictures for me, I think will keep me more self-aware and focused on like continuing to feel like a bad bitch. Like that's important to me. Like I want to, you know, not only talk the talk, but I always want to be over here walking the walk for you. As a grounds trainer, as a dietitian, I always will be honest that I'm human. Like there's no perfect fitness trainer. There's no perfect dietitian, but I do want to be always walking the walk and taking you along that journey with me. So that is my goal. On Monday, we are going to start the Flourish Challenge, dumbbell only 4 days a week. The app will have the programs in there Sunday if you like to schedule your workouts out for the week. I don't, because I'm like, I'm still floating around in my world where I usually know the days that I'm going to lift, but being a 4-day-a-week program, I may vary it based on the weather and what days I want to do my long runs. So if I do a long run, I definitely won't lift the same day, and I'm going to dictate my long runs based on the weather. So I'm going to have a little flexibility with what days I'm lifting and what days I'm running. Oh, am I getting some marathon recommendations in here? Ooh, DC would be a good, oh, May 5th. Kathleen, you want me to go next week? So that's interesting though. How far is DC from McGaheysville, Virginia? If you guys didn't know, Jason and I do have an Airbnb in Virginia. We have a video on it on this channel if you missed out. I don't really talk about it much. We literally only did that one video and I've kind of like not said much else about it, but we have that Airbnb in McGaheysville, Virginia. So I think we're pretty booked up for the month of May, but I was also thinking maybe I could find something like near the Virginia, DC area and then just go stay at our cool Airbnb because we have a hot tub, we have a hot tub outdoors, and then also in the master bedroom there's like, is it called a hot like a jacuzzi tub, indoor jacuzzi tub, like in the bathroom. It's fun. I love it. I want to go back so bad. So part of me selfishly wants to find something there to do, but I mean, I think we've been doing pretty good. We're learning. It's the first year's of learning. I don't know that April had every single day booked up, which makes total sense. April's a joke. Like, who likes the month of April? No offense if your birthday's in April or something. I just think weather-wise, at least in like New England area, like Northeast, it's just so questionable. Not a lot of people travel this time of year, but I don't know. Maybe there's like school breaks and stuff. But let me know in the chat. I know I have chatted quite a bit. I don't know how long we've been live for, like an hour, but if you guys have any other questions, burning questions, personal questions about me, questions I can help you navigate, that is what I'm here for. Please let me know. I'd be happy to answer. I know there's probably not many of us here. I don't know if a Saturday afternoon live was the way to go, but I just had to rip the Band-Aid off and come back to YouTube and just have a chit chat. I really enjoy doing lives too for a couple of reasons. Number one, I like to talk. Number two, I feel like we can cover a lot of topics. I like to be able to talk openly here, and you guys give me that space that I always feel like I can on YouTube. And I also want to be able to help you all if there's a question. So I like that I can actively interact with you in the chat or respond to questions right away versus answering questions in the comments after the fact. Additionally, you know, the live setup is a lot easier because then Jason doesn't have all this footage he has to edit afterwards too. But that's more on me because I just haven't been good about picking up a camera and filming. He's always willing to edit videos for me. It's more my thing that I haven't been willing to pick up the camera and execute a great video for you guys. So I figured this was me kind of ripping off the Band-Aid to kind of dip my toes back in here and just start being a little bit more vulnerable on YouTube. And I miss YouTube. Oh, 2.5 hours actually isn't bad, Kathleen. Like, I feel like I could drive that. I mean, maybe I would fly there and then drive to the Airbnb. I'm gonna have to look at that. That is one of my goals this week, is just figuring out the half marathon. There's a ton on May 19th, I noticed, but nothing like right here. And I kind of really want to do a half marathon where the weather's nice because it's so unpredictable here right now. I just want like a guaranteed nice weather, new scenery run, you know? Advice of not going too hard too fast. Yeah, so that's part of smart goal setting, is setting yourself those realistic, measurable goals, right? So I think that's important that you identify what your actual goals are. There's usually a long-term goal, and then have some little short-term goals as well that you can kind of accomplish on a week-to-week basis. It's very common for people to just, once you feel that motivation of like, I am ready to go. I've done this myself too. I've worked with plenty of coaches where I'm like just so motivated, like let's cut these macros, slash them down. I'm ready to get lean. I'm ready to do the thing. That only lasts so long. That's fleeting. And 4 days later, you're hungry, you're angry, and you deep dive into a bag of Doritos. So it's important to stay realistic with your goals and think about those small wins on a day-to-day basis. So don't go too hard too fast. Requires you to think about what you're doing right now. Are you working out at all? Like I get a lot of people where they're not working out whatsoever. They sign up to work with me and they're like, I want to work out 6 days a week. And I'm like, cool, but not right now. Well, why not? Because you're not doing anything right now. That is going to set both of us up for failure. If you're not doing anything right now, that would be real bad advice on my part, very uneducated on my part to say, yeah, you should work out 6 days a week. It's not going to happen. Or you will do it because you're so motivated in the moment, but it's likely you're not going to sustain it because there's a reason why you're not working out at all right now. So you kind of have to be realistic with yourself about what deterrents are in your life, what has held you back, whether it's with your nutrition or with your fitness, and kind of meet in the middle a bit when it comes to thinking about where to start and then build upon it. This is not a quick goal you have to achieve. You don't have to achieve it by next week or even a month from now. The small things that you do each and every day do add up over time. That's what makes a difference. And when you kind of keep things a bit more realistic, it's when you actually sustain it and keep it in your program. And that's not always the sexiest. That's not always the most enticing, but it is the best way to navigate it. So don't get so caught up in just wanting to hurry up. Don't rush the process. The process is meant to be enjoyed. So the more you can kind of have fun with the process, it will keep you motivated. And like I said, week to week, assess how you're doing. Did you do great this past week? Amazing. Did you love all your training sessions? Do you maybe want to increase your cardio? And that's realistic for you, then do it. Just kind of continue to build week after week. That's my advice, but feel free to give Jordan any other advice in the chat. Bree said, do more of these, Kara, love them. I'm sad I missed when you first got on. Oh, no worries. Please, this is gonna be, I always keep my lives as a standard video on YouTube, so you can always go back afterwards and watch it and catch up. Hopefully, it's a lot of me chatting, of course. So, updates on Jason's health. Jay, do you want to give updates on your health? Or do you want me to? Are you with me? Can I just show you the dogs? They're both passed out. Jason's health, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. I'm going to be honest, the past... I was going to say the past month, but it's been longer than that. Huh? Okay, his updates. Okay, so let's see. How do I keep this short and sweet? Got you. Well, we had a follow-up appointment with his Lyme doctor. Well, I should probably go back in time. We had about 3 to 4 months worth of neurology testing because Jason was having a lot of symptoms that would mimic sciatica pain. Sciatica is essentially symptoms, lower back, tingling down your legs, feet.
JJ just took my spot over.
He did. You want me to move over?
I can sit here. Yeah, push on.
Yeah.
I gotta talk through your mic though, so you
Okay,
gotta be
cool.
close to me.
So he's had like sciatic symptoms for a long time. So first step,
February.
well, not even first step.
February 2023.
Did I forget my shirt?
You're good.
Okay.
It'll go back to normal.
Actually, first step was,
So sciatica, then arm issues that were like golfer and tennis elbow in both arms. I couldn't even like lift a pot. Trying to cook, I'm like holding a pot with 2 hands.
you had to do PT first before they'd MRI you. So
12 weeks PT.
12 weeks of PT.
Did nothing.
Then you got the...
Well, he thought it might have been systemic.
Right.
Which doesn't really make sense, but...
Then you got an MRI of the lower spine?
Yes.
Lower spine MRI. Came back with nothing
Normal,
really, just kind of like...
normal degeneration of being
discs.
almost 46.
Yeah.
Just nothing out of the ordinary.
that's when we went back to your Lyme doctor, who said, well, maybe we need to go back to neurology. And
Well, first she said antibiotics again. I'm like, I don't want to.
right, you didn't want to. So it was like, okay, let's rule out if there's anything neurologically going on. So it was a series of 6 different tests.
And then an MRI of my brain and neck.
MRI of brain and neck. So then we had MRI of brain, neck, previously had it of the lower lumbar.
6 different tests.
6
like
different
nerve conduction
tests.
tests,
Nerve conduction,
all that stuff. VAT. I don't know what they all
TMI
are.
flow test or something.
Something like that. All normal.
All normal. Nothing, maybe a little bit showing a little pinching in, I forgot what disc up in the cervical. But again, it was kind of like with his lower lumbar. It was like nothing out of the norm for the age that we're at. You're going to have some degeneration, things like that. Nothing that would have caused the pain that he was experiencing. So then it was kind of like the doctor was like, well, you could just lump this all into fibromyalgia, which is just basically, and we could give you some Balta. And I was like, yeah, we're going to hold on that. We're going to talk to his Lyme doctor. So went back to the Lyme doctor. And then thankfully, last week, thankfully, Jason brought up that he had this mark on his arm that he's had pretty much like you got it like a week after Cayman Islands.
Like right when my skin started doing all this like weird stuff right before Cayman. Like
You
I
were
was
having,
getting
like,
all like
itching.
I was getting itching. I was getting like open sores.
Open sores, yeah. Which
On my skin. I'm like, is it because of the sun? Because I have porphyria?
he doesn't do well in the sun, and we were in Cayman Islands, so
Actually, you can probably see it, right?
yeah.
Then she's like, that looks like a Lyme bullseye rash.
Yep. Lyme. So she was like, that
It's
looks like you've been reinfected by a tick. Did you get bit by a tick? And he's like,
And this is all like recent. I was
know.
already having all this issues before.
right.
But then all the skin stuff started happening right around this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yeah, because I remember, I think I was in Texas when you were like, my skin doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it feels like my whole body feels like how this looks.
Like
it doesn't
itchy,
look like
right?
that, but it just feels like my whole body inside should look like this.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. So, with all that said, in discussion with his Lyme doctor, we made the decision for him to go back on 1 oral antibiotic for duration. Did we?
2 months probably at least.
2 months?
She gave me 2 months worth.
Oh,
We
2
see her
months.
in
Okay.
5 weeks.
We see her in 5 weeks. So Jason's been on it for a week.
Well, yeah, she wanted me to get a second back opinion, and she also said that, well, let's see if the antibiotic helps your back because, like, what Lyme will go into like an injured or compromised area and like
it'll like attack a
attack it
localized
and make
area.
it hurt. And so I'm thinking, like, there's no freaking way in hell that
Yeah.
that this pain's gonna diminish
I didn't
from an
think s-
antibiotic,
I
like
didn't
whatsoever.
think so either.
I was thinking it helps some of my other issues
Right. Me
that I
too.
was experiencing.
Me too. Yeah, Jason.
But not like the elbows pain, the arm pain, the back pain. And like that, the first antibiotic I took that night, I was like, my back from a constant like 8 out of 10 is like a 2.
Yeah, that's wild.
And then like then like 12 hours later, it'll be back maybe like a 4 or 5. I'll take it, and like an hour later, it's like back to like a 0 to 2. Yeah.
Crazy. When he said that, I was like, oh,
And it's
okay.
been like 14 months I've been dealing with this.
Yeah.
Like doing everything like mechanically
Yeah.
to try to fix it.
Unfortunately, then comes some of the negative side effects you're experiencing with starting the
I've been like
antibiotic.
pooping so good, and like where you actually like where you feel like you empty out, and like
Right.
now I'm all backed up, I'm gassy, like
The acid
my
reflux
emotions, like
was a huge thing.
that's the other thing. Like I'll get like super like angry, like it'll like just make me mad, like
Yeah.
the antibiotic, and it's probably because of the Lyme.
Yeah.
That's in the
it's,
brain.
It's more of the Lyme. Yeah, because you
Like
do
my
have some
emotions get all over the
cognition.
place. Cognition will be horrible. I'm like I don't even feel like I should be driving right now.
Yeah.
Like where you just get confused doing like basic tasks. And what were you saying just now? Oh, the acid reflux. I had like reflux after the 8 months of antibiotics I was on. And it took me like a year and a half to get rid of.
Which that was a whole thing that we did a series
'Cause
of
it was
tests on
so
with with
And now it's back.
what was the doctor we did it
The
with?
GI doctor?
GI doctor, yeah. Like
Because,
all
like,
these
24/7. Just feel like I'm just thrown up in my throat. Like now it's like back.
and
It's
it was
oh,
like
it's great.
so many tests you went through. It was just like honestly a horrible experience for me as a person, not even going through it, just going through it with him. It was not a good experience. I don't want him to get back there either. So it's like, it's so hard. And I'm sure some of you can relate, or maybe relate listening. It's like when you're trying to fix one issue with your health, like, and you take a medicine, like it might fix some of it, but then all these other symptoms come, and it's like this balancing act of like weighing, like, okay, how much more do I throw on? Like, how many more symptoms are gonna come on? So it's just kind of like.
But I can actually bend down again, though.
Honestly,
have you seen my movement? It's like I'm not like. I don't feel like I'm. For like a year, I felt literally so frail. Like I was like 97 years old. Like I would just barely bump my arm like this hard on the wall and just be in excruciating
I would literally
pain.
like go like this too, and you're like, please don't touch me, it hurts. And I'm like, I barely touched you, But like, I would say like it's obviously very soon, I think, to know, like, is this gonna be, are the benefits gonna outweigh the side effects you're having?
Before, it's
hard to know.
All
right
the antibiotics helped me, but then all those things that went away slowly over the past couple of years came back
and
over time.
Yeah, so
and that was on like a crap load of antibiotics. So it's like
that was a lot. Yeah.
What's one gonna do?
Right.
I don't want to be on this forever.
Right. But so we're doing that now, at least because we think he had that reinfection, which can occur with
Don't need anybody being sad for me. It's all good.
It sucks. But like, again,
could be worse.
It could be worse, and I don't know. I feel like at least you're doing something right now. Not that you haven't been. He's always doing something. It's so expensive, honestly, and this isn't like a.
It sucks.
Use code Kara, but like the amount of herbals and stuff, like none of herbals aren't covered under insurance, and like even antibiotics, it's like.
Like all the supplements I have to take, it's like the giant handful twice a day.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's truly covered with this is lab work and antibiotics.
Yep.
To a degree. When you were doing IV treatments, even then I had to like put through stuff. But anyways, this was just meant to be a quick update. So honestly, it's just like every day is different for him right now.
Lucky to be able to go to Cayman.
I was so glad.
There.
Yeah, and we had such a good time.
We had a super good time.
It was so nice. Like, and that's
the last day I just hid under the umbrella because it was so like sunny.
You did, but you still had fun.
Oh yeah, I did.
Like you went and you hopped on that little board thing, showed off, and everyone's like, "Look how shredded Jason is." It was fun. It was fun being at an influencer.
Doing Forever Fit.
He was doing the Forever Fit program. I don't know. I hope things like continue to get better for you, and I hope that we can travel more together this year. Yeah. This is my goal.
I've learned to not think it's ever going away because that'll just bum me out.
Yeah.
That's what sucks. And it's like,
technically it's never going away, right? Like you could
long.
Put them in like remission essentially, right? Is kind of how it works.
For now, unless I'm crazy.
But any kind of life stressor or environmental influence, which
that's like when the weather changes, it'll like screw me up.
Or like the fact that we have mold in our house.
I try to stay so like strict on my food I eat.
Yeah.
So I don't like change anything up.
It's the one controllable that you can control, and I respect that.
In my sleep, I tried to like.
It's very non-negotiable.
I'm like 7 a.m. I'm like, don't show me an email. Don't ask me questions. I need to like let the mind relax so I can get sleepy.
And in a way, it's.
Your toes look cute.
I got my toes done yesterday too. And my nails.
I heard you talking about my toes.
Yeah, he needs a pedicure. I
do not.
To scratch at me.
I cut my toenails.
It's like, babe.
I cut them.
Damn, a little scratchy. We gotta file them down. There's a lot of downsides to you having health issues, but in a way, it's also benefited us. I have to find the silver lining in things. That's how I try to, at least for you, I have to find the silver lining, and I feel like in a lot of ways, it's changed the trajectory of our lives. I feel like I wouldn't be working from home if you didn't have health issues.
I feel like I'd still be working for someone.
Yep.
It came down to it was just too much on me, like everything.
Yeah.
So I had to like make a choice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
when I
have a pity party myself, I'm like, oh, I get to hang out with my dogs.
It also put things in perspective for me too, like with just your
it's
health.
Like anything can happen to you. It's like,
I know you're like not like dying or something right now, but people do die from Lyme. But it just
like our chiropractor you just went to is like, yeah, I just had someone die of Lyme disease.
Yeah, but it did force me to think about things differently with my life and how I spend my time.
And how we appreciate each other.
Our relationship, how I view my own health and the abilities that my body have. I will say, like, I call myself sometimes being like a little pussy in the gym, but I just feel like because of your body and how much you have to work through and care for it, I'm like very cognizant of my body and taking care of it properly, and now taking warm-ups and cool downs more seriously and stretching and the self-care that I need. Like, okay, it sucks spending money on things. Like, I'm trying to be good with my money, but I also,
it costs so much money
because everything costs so much.
You have to take care of yourself, and
yeah, but it's that fine line of like taking care of your body.
Like, our biggest bill is medical stuff. It's like insane. Like, if you added up how much we spent since I was diagnosed in 2020, it'd be like a nice small house.
Yeah, and it was like that before I quit my job. We still have health insurance, you guys. I mean, it's not.
It was still not covered. Like,
it's not like as good now,
my
but like
$1,000 doctor bill not covered.
Correct.
It's
not.
It's like,
it can all go towards the deductible, but it's like the deductible for out of network is a lot.
The IV antibiotics I was paying out of pocket every like 4
I think
days
I only
a week. I had to go and like give them $200.
I didn't recoup much from that either from insurance through New York State. So it was like, it's not even that. So that
sucks.
That was one thing that was kind of keeping me in my day job, but I'm like, nah.
And I think when you left, like you said, you saw like how much I got to deal with.
Oh God. How much crap you had to deal with, and then how much you were doing while I was at work. Like, people at work. I always
feel bad at me. She probably thinks I'm just like hanging out playing like Halo all day long.
No, I never.
Like, she's the one that's like,
I'd be like, please play Halo,
play
like
some video games.
Relax. But I remember people at work I'd be like, oh, I gotta like. I had so much time off in my job, right? But people would make me feel guilty about it. I'd be like, I'm gonna take a couple hours off because I'm gonna, I don't know, take Bruce to the vet. I don't even think that's an actual example, but whatever. And people would be like, can't Jason just do it? Doesn't he just work? Isn't he at home? And I'm like, he's working from home. Work from home means he's working.
Just because you work for yourself, like, you work for yourself, you work more.
You work more. I had no idea.
You do.
Dude, no idea. But I will do a separate video talking about kind of like a 1-year update.
Yeah.
I think you should be part of that too. Yeah. I don't know if it'll be live or just pre-recorded.
I think pre-recorded.
I think pre-recorded to be more concise and like playable, playbackable. I feel like sometimes people don't like watching the lives back because they're so long, but...
Yeah, we always try to take the silver lining of stuff. There's also a negative lining where it's like, I just feel like it holds me back from doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, even like work stuff, I want to do so much more.
Yeah,
and like,
your energy's limited.
Like yesterday, what was it? I was like, I have the mental capacity too?
Yes.
I don't have the physical capacity.
You didn't have the physical. You're like, mentally, I'm there. Physically, I don't have it in me. And I'm like, then no, don't. Because if you push too hard when you don't have the physical, then it's like, you pay for it.
So then it's like,
you pay for it.
Then your work's screwed for like weeks.
And that's where like sometimes too, when he's having a good day physically and mentally,
I won't do it all.
I'm like, okay, I'll drop what I'm doing to let's have a date day. Let's just spend time together, because like, you're not guaranteed having those good days where it all aligns. It's actually very rare for those struggling with chronic Lyme.
Zoe, are you talking about me? This is from Halloween Horror Nights 2021 Universal Studios.
Or is she talking about my shirt?
I don't know. Mine's more fun.
This is supposed to be a seamless bra. I ain't looking so seamless.
I always get like at least like a small flare up.
Yeah.
Right after Buff Bunny videos.
Always after a Buff Bunny launch.
So much work.
It's so much work,
on top of my own, my own channel stuff too. It's like literally I always get sick.
And we always try to make them better, or try to think of a way to, which reminds me, we got to watch our last one pretty soon. But
I was just working on color cards, guys.
You can't say nothing.
I wasn't gonna say anything about it. I was just
Don't
saying
spill the beans. We aren't like Heidi. We can't spill the beans here.
I ain't spilling no beans. I was saying I was doing some color cards.
She's the only one that can spill beans.
I was just doing color cards.
They know I got an email, but yeah, we're always trying to like make things better and like how can we do things different and also just to be honest, this is nothing negative. It's just like we only have so much time between receiving the package and the level of content to produce, between a full-length YouTube review, trying to do reels because that's what does the best on Instagram. I still like professional photos because I feel like that's just Jeanette, keep talking, Jason. I see the beans in there, Emma. The professional photos I just feel like are a really nice touch because you can really see the clothes well, and then just the Instagram stories, the color comparisons, you don't do that, I do that, but
it literally takes her like a day.
If I'm doing that stuff, he's doing more. He has to do more with the dogs. He has to do more in the house. He has to do more with other things. So it's a give and take. And usually the balance is, there's no balance during a Buff Bunny collection launch. And depending on when we get the package, which for Catherine's launch, my package came late. And that wasn't on the team. That was just the carrier. It came later. So later it comes, the less time I have. I like to do an unboxing for you guys too. You guys like the unboxings. So it's like, it's very consuming, and I'm not complaining about it. I don't know how many times I can say that. I don't want someone to be like, like a Kara Corey complaining about being a Buff Bunny athlete. No, this has changed my life. I love it. Don't ever take it away from me. I love it. I love it here.
I just think that people don't realize how much like sometimes goes into like
I don't think so.
Stuff.
I know some people do. Like actually I had one of my followers, she's not here right now, but I posted a reel today. It's literally like, 7 seconds, the snack box reel, which I did a YouTube video on as well. So we filmed it twice, once for YouTube, you can watch long form content, and then redid it for short form content. And she was like, honestly, I can tell how much time and effort went into this video.
Yeah, it's just you taking away snack boxes.
And I said, I appreciate that because a lot of people don't realize, number one, I had to purchase the actual snack boxes. Number two,
you spent like $100 on just like that video cost us like $100.
I'm not making
That's
money.
Not like we're making
I'm
that
not
money
recouping
back.
that money. Not between YouTube and Instagram. I don't make money like that. But the time it took to plan the content, go to the grocery store, get the food, come home, set up lighting, make sure the kitchen looks as good as it can. Make sure the angles look as good as they can, make sure the lighting is good, make sure I look okay. Then we actually film the video. And
also she's on a time crunch because like usually by like some days noon, today was noon, some days 3, it's like I'm shot.
You're done. So if he's helping me with something, I have to be cognizant of the energy he has available to help me, number one. Number two, he's also producing content for his YouTube and all of his stuff that does way better than mine. So I'm always like, please, like, prioritize your stuff too. Like, it's just it's a balance. And I think some people don't realize how long it takes.
And it's like we need help, but it's like A, finding the help, and B, it's not like we're rich or we can afford you know what I mean?
I know.
It's like hard.
Yeah.
It's like,
right now I feel like it is different, like having not would you say an unstable income? Like it's unpredictable how much we make for money?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're both different. Like working for ourselves. A lot of it's dictated by social media. So it's unpredictable.
It's up and down.
So it's kind of like, that's where I'm like, trying to be very mindful of like spending any money on anything.
And I don't buy anything, but I spend a lot of money because I have to buy supplements and go get massages and which are... Yesterday I thought I was gonna cry during my massage. It was so painful. Like
it sounded it.
I got
lockjaw.
You guys ever have lockjaw? Oh my god, for one, I never get bags under my eyes. Because I asked the doctor if it was from the antibiotic. She's like, no. Well, I never get bags under my eyes. 3 days ago, I had like these huge bags under my eyes. The next day, my neck was like super stiff. And the next day I'm eating, all of a sudden I couldn't close my mouth. And it just like locked up. And I was like freaking out. I couldn't even like push it together. Went to chiropractor, he worked on it. And then I got a massage yesterday and she worked on it. And like, oh my God, it hurt so bad.
Yeah,
I literally thought I was going to tear up.
Yeah, I probably
it was rough.
Would have been too scared to even tell her to do that. I forgot, Jeanette wrote, can you do a video of choosing your items for the PDF? It'd be cool to see for your first impression.
That'd be
I mean, we could still do that as part of the. I can't remember like what I'm gonna do for this video, if it's gonna be a live unboxing or not, because I just feel like.
I think the most important thing is almost speed.
I think so too, because I feel like
these guys want it quick, and it's like.
I know.
Your live unboxing doesn't have to be live. It's still like a true unboxing.
Right. It's always still my raw first real impressions. It's just not interactive.
So sometimes you guys see like the unboxings and they're pre-recorded versus live, and I just feel pre-recorded, yeah, it's more work on me because I have to edit it, but then I can give these guys like it looks better. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's gonna sound better. It's gonna look better because I'm gonna produce it. So I kind of just like, I know it's more work, but I kind of like rather give them something better. And it's like it'd be ready to go the moment they announce it. I just go, okay, live.
And the thing is, if I do get my package earlier than when the actual announcement is made, I kind of can't open anything and get going. Yeah. Because then I have to like repackage it, and then it feels fake and unauthentic to me. So like.
Because then also if we pre-record it, we can start the actual review video. I can actually
start reviewing it because
A-roll, B-roll, C-roll, D-roll,
and
all the rolls.
Also, I
jelly rolls.
Well, this is what also held us up. The last one is.
Are butter rolls a thing?
Butter rolls? In my world, they are. You could go for some butter rolls.
Is it like is that what they are?
Dinner rolls?
Dinner rolls, aren't they? I don't know.
Butter rolls?
I don't know.
Now you got me thinking about bread. I'm all confused. I was just gonna say,
so when we first started dating, we'd go to Top. It was actually PNC at the time. And Kara, like, I'd get like some candy and snacks or some, goodies. She'd get like dinner rolls for like a
6-pack.
We'd be able to go watch movies like just employees at like after hours. So it'd be like 1 a.m. We'd go watch a movie. She'd get dinner rolls. Who eats dinner rolls at 1 a.m.? You could eat like some Bunch of Crunch, some Raisinets.
I guess
something good.
A 6-pack of dinner rolls.
She's always been an old lady.
Why is that being an old lady?
You little pumpkin muffins.
Oh, I could go for one of those with the crummies on top. I was vegetarian and I didn't know how to eat healthy, so I would just eat white bread and pasta, which you can eat that stuff, don't get me wrong, but I ate nothing.
That's all she ate.
I ate nothing but that. So for like a
midnight
movie, I would literally just eat like 6 plain dinner rolls. But they're literally, I still would to this day.
She would, fat.
I remember.
She doesn't, but she would.
It's kind of like
if like calories weren't a thing that affected your body, she'd just be eating like you just find Kara like walking around with her pants stuffed with like these bulges of dinner rolls that she'd just be snacking on.
I remember in high school, this reminds me of like literally, this was pre-Mean Girls when I was in high school, but on Spaghetti Day, MCHS, Spaghetti Day, they had the best like homemade bread. And it was like
the giant pieces of bread. It was like super thick.
Giant home style pieces. So I would go up to the lunch lady, and they were very flexible with me because they knew I was vegetarian, and I wouldn't do pasta with meat sauce. So I would say, instead of pasta, can I just get 4 slices of bread? I shit you not. It was like this thick. So I would get 4 slices of home style bread on the side, and then in the main tray section, they would pour like Italian sauce, just like marinara sauce. And I remember, this one kid that I went to high school with sitting at my lunch table, he was a hockey player, and he's like, oh yeah, coach always has us eat more bread too, and we're trying to gain weight for season. And I was like mortified.
I'm sure he wasn't doing it to be a jerk.
He wasn't. No, he was he was a nice guy, but and I didn't actually take it that way, like he was being mean. I wasn't offended by it, but I just remember like being like, oh my God, like I'm not trying to gain weight, like I'm just trying to eat my bread because I think this is healthy. Like, this is when the fat-free era was, like, a big thing. So I was all about, like, the fat-frees.
Sarah Long implemented your snack box idea. I love that.
Yay. It was so fun. I want to do it again. Honestly, it came in handy because I've been, like, leaving the house to go study and stuff. And
the snack box is in your Amazon store, right? Kathleen Nass?
Yeah. I did link those. They're in the, like, Home Goods Miscellaneous. I think I put them under or something. Speaking of, I'm pretty hungry. My pancakes were a little bit of a flop this morning.
Yeah, because you know why? Because I didn't make them.
These guys are so tired.
When I make stuff, it's good. When she makes them, sometimes it's good, sometimes
No, they were good yesterday, and then today I added pumpkin to them, and then...
It was too much pumpkin, I guess.
No, I think I just forgot they were cooking, so...
Yeah.
I think that was part of it, too.
You don't cover them. You cover them after, and you shut off the stove and let it, like sit in the heat and cook.
Sarah, do you have butter roll? Do you have bread rolls, butter rolls? I can't talk. Now I got rolls on my mind. Not, yeah, any kind of rolls. Yum. I
double
love
date in St. Pete.
Yeah, my grandparents when they were alive lived there.
I was gonna ask you that.
I love St. Pete.
It sounded very familiar. It sounds Canadian too.
They used to have the pier. Well, I think the pier is still there, but it's like
Kathleen feels so seen right now. We really see you.
Because of the rolls. See you.
I feel like I die without eating carbs. I don't eat as much as I used to.
So it was very interesting. Like we did that genetic testing, Jay, that we did. It was like a sponsored video, but it was really insightful. It's very old, but it was super insightful because
my Lyme doctor uses that because of like something I found.
I feel like it just helped me confirm because
I do better. We both do better.
Higher carb, lower fat, and Jason's known that for a while.
Yeah, and I've got like some weird genetic thing
like
where
malabsorption,
where my body doesn't absorb fat for energy properly. So that came up on there, and it kind of explained a couple things, you know.
Bye, Zoe. Thanks for joining us.
See you later.
Yeah, same for me. Like, I just inherently eat more fat. Like, I love fat and could eat more fat and less carbs very easily. But in effort to either lose weight or maintain my weight, eating higher carb, lowering the fat a bit is better for me.
She doesn't mean like low fat and healthy. She means
no.
On the lower end.
I mean, like not eating. Yeah, the lower end. Like I'm better off eating 200 carbs and eating 50 grams of fat versus 90 grams of fat and 120 grams of carbs.
That sounds like me. I eat like 50 grams of fat.
Yeah.
And like 250 to 300 carbs usually.
It's just a weird adjustment. Like fat just is so natural for me. Like I just crave fats more.
I don't.
We don't have a lot of carbs laying around the house.
Well, the best carb we have in the house is, what's the best tasting carb we have in here? Let me see if
pineapple.
She guesses. That's a second.
To what?
That raw honey.
I mean, I guess time and a place.
Good.
Time and a place.
Yeah, the time and the place is all the time.
Give me
my
a
mouth
roll.
Is the place.
Give me a roll. Give me a bagel. Give me pasta.
Give me that raw honey. It's like cream. It's not even like drippy. It's like solid.
I gotta go eat.
You look like you're fading.
I'm hungry now. Do you
need me to actually make you the pancakes to retry that?
No, I want to eat something different.
I need to eat something too.
You do. Well, I know this chat was a little all over the place. But I'm glad you guys joined, or if you're watching it back, thanks for being here. I'm very excited to start Flourish on Monday. I will eventually be vlogging more. I just have to get through something, and I'll let you know when I'm done that. But I will have more videos, and just
she's flourishing again, guys.
I'm just trying to flourish.
She's flourishing on the LK, the low key. She's low key flourishing. She'll update you when she's flourished.
Is that JJ snoring or Bruce? Someone's snoring.
I don't know. One of them.
It's afternoon nap time. All right, friends. Well, yes, thank you so much for joining. If you are joining the Grounds app, want to try the Grounds app, I do have a link in my description box. Using that link, I do earn commission. And I appreciate it. If you want to get others to join the app, I'd love for you to copy that link, maybe share it with your friends and family who need some help, who need some support. It's a great place, as many of you know who are already here, who are already in the app. But yes, we're going to start Flourish on Monday. So excited to see all your results. And in my Discord, I will be checking in on y'all on Instagram. Make sure you're tagging me. Make sure you're leaving me comments in the community space. All those things. I really want to keep tabs on you all so that I can really help you be really successful these next 6 weeks, because when we finish Flourishing, it's going to be June 10th. So we're going to be ready for summer.
You going to do a driven challenge on YouTube?
I want to. I mentioned that here.
Driven.
That's what I said. I want to bring that up but they're not going to do a special challenge for me if no one does Flourish. I think that's how it works. It's all a numbers game, baby. So I need y'all to be doing my programs, signing up with me as your trainer, and hopefully I'll get to offer you all more programs. So I'm gonna end that here. I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday. Or if you're watching this playback, wherever you are, do not forget to subscribe, and we'll see you